Hello friends, welcome to my channel. I hope you enjoy your scary adventure. In a small village surrounded by dense woods, there stood an old, abandoned cottage. The villagers whispered that it was haunted and no one dared to go near it. But there was a brave young boy named Tom who was curious about the cottage. As he walked through the hallway, he heard soft whispers. "Leave," they said. But Tom was determined to find out who was whispering. He entered a room with an old mirror. In the reflection, he saw a shadowy figure standing behind him. Tom spun around, but there was no one there. He looked back at the mirror, but the figure had vanished. Suddenly, the whispers grew louder, and the cottage shook. Tom felt a chill run down his spine. He knew he had to leave. He ran out of the cottage as fast as he could, not stopping until he reached his home. From that night on, Tom never went near the cottage again. And sometimes, when the wind howled through the village, he could still hear the whispers in the air. The whispering woods in the quaint village of Eldridge Hollow, nestled between the undulating hills and dense forests. There was a legend that kept the villagers from venturing into the woods after dark. They called it the Whispering Woods not because the wind sang through the leaves, but because of the voices that murmured between the trees. Voices that belonged to no living soul. Sarah, a curious and brave young woman, had always been fascinated by the woods. She didn't believe in the superstitions of the old. One fateful night, driven by Adair and her own skepticism, she stepped into the woods, armed with nothing but a flashlight and her wits. As the darkness enveloped her, the familiar sounds of the night were strangely absent. No crickets chirped, no owls hooted. There was only silence and the soft crunch of her footsteps on the forest floor. Then it began, a whisper, so faint she thought she had imagined it. Sarah, it called a voice as cold as the grave, yet it was unmistakably her mother's, who had passed away years ago. Chills ran down her spine, but Sarah pressed on, determined to find the source. The whispers grew, a cacophony of voices, all calling her name. Pleading, warning, crying. The flashlight flickered, shadows danced, and for a moment Sarah saw them, the lost souls of the woods, their eyes hollow, their mouth agape in silent screams. She ran, the whispers chasing her, growling louder, more insistent. She didn't stop until she burst out of the tree line, gasping for air, the silence of the woods replaced by the pounding of her heart. The next morning, Sarah was found unconscious at the edge of the woods. She never spoke of what she saw, but the villagers noticed the change. Her once bright eyes now held a depth of fear, and she never turned her gaze towards the whispering woods again. And so the legend grew, fed by the whispers that continue to call out to those who dare to listen after the sun sets on Elderich Hollow. The forgotten room in the small town of Willow Creek. There was a house that everyone avoided. The locals whispered about the strange noises that came from it at night. They said it was cursed, haunted by the ghost of an old man who once lived there. Lily, a curious young girl, didn't believe in ghosts. One day, she decided to explore the house. As she walked through the dusty rooms, she found a door that was slightly ajar. It led to a room that seemed to have been forgotten by time. Inside, there was nothing but an old mirror. Lily looked into it and saw her reflection, but as she stared, her reflection began to change. It twisted into a sinister version of herself, with hollow eyes and a wicked smile. She tried to scream, but no sound came out. The reflection stepped out of the mirror, and Lily felt a cold hand grip her heart. It whispered in a voice that sounded like the rustling of dead leaves. "You are mine now." From that day on, Lily was never the same. She would often be found standing in front of the mirror, talking to her reflection. And at night, the townspeople could hear her laughter mixing with the old man's whispers. The house still stands in Willow Creek, And they say if you listen closely, you can hear the echoes of Lily's lost soul, forever trapped in the forgotten room.